Have you ever wondered what happens when a giant, a true global behemoth, goes head-to-head with a small local hero? We're talking about a real-life David versus Goliath story, but instead of slingshots and stones, our weapons are burgers, fried chicken, and sweet-style spaghetti. This is the incredible tale of how a cheerful little bee took on the world's most famous clown and won. This is the story of Jollibee versus McDonald's. It all started back in the 1980s. Picture this. The world is obsessed with American culture. Big Macs, rock and roll, Hollywood movies, and then the Golden Arches appeared in the Philippines. McDonald's arrived with an air of absolute confidence. Why wouldn't they be confident? They were the undisputed king of fast food, a symbol of modern, efficient, American-style service. They had conquered countries across the globe with a formula that seemed unbeatable: consistency. A Big Mac in New York tasted exactly like a Big Mac in Tokyo, and now it was Manila's turn. When McDonald's opened its first store in 1981, it was an immediate sensation. The lines were long, the hype was real. For many Filipinos, it was their first taste of a global phenomenon. The local fast food scene was pretty much non-existent, made up of small family-run eateries. McDonald's brought in a system, a brand, and a promise of quality that was hard to compete with. They expected to dominate the market, just like they had everywhere else. The prevailing wisdom was simple: you can't fight the Golden Arches. It felt like checkmate before the game had even begun. The local players were shaking in their boots. Who could possibly stand up to this giant? Well, one man and his family decided they weren't going to just roll over. Tony Tan Caktiong started out with 2 small ice cream parlors in Manila. As he added hot food to his menu, he noticed something interesting. People were coming for his burgers more than his ice cream. He saw an opportunity. In 1978, just a few years before McDonald's arrived, he rebranded his little ice cream shop into a fast food joint and named it Jollibee. The name was a perfect mix of jolly and bee, reflecting his vision of a place where people worked hard like bees and were happy doing it. But how could this little bee, with just a handful of stores, possibly survive the arrival of the fast food titan? While McDonald's was busy replicating its global success formula, Tony Tan Caktiong did something brilliant. He didn't try to copy McDonald's. Instead, he leaned into what made the Philippines unique. He listened to his customers. He knew that Filipinos had a distinct palate, often referred to as Panlasang Pinoy, or the Filipino taste. What does that mean? It means a love for flavors that are a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, and a whole lot of comforting. So, while McDonald's was serving its standard savory burgers and fries, Jollibee went in a completely different direction: their secret weapon, the menu. First, let's talk about the spaghetti. In most parts of the world, spaghetti has a savory, tomato and herb-based sauce. But in the Philippines, spaghetti is a party food, and it's sweet. Jollibee's Jolly Spaghetti had a sweet banana ketchup-based sauce, loaded with hot dog slices and topped with a mountain of cheese. To an outsider, it might sound strange. To a Filipino, it tastes like childhood, like every birthday party they've ever been to. It was an instant hit. Then came the burger, instead of trying to create a Big Mac clone. Jollibee developed the Yum Burger and the Champ. These burgers had a slightly sweeter, juicier, and more flavorful patty, customized to local preferences. It wasn't just a burger. It was a burger that tasted like home. But the real game changer, the item that would become a legend, was the Chicken Joy. McDonald's had fried chicken, sure. But Jollibee's Chicken Joy was different. It was perfectly crispy on the outside, incredibly juicy on the inside, and seasoned with a secret blend of spices that was simply addictive. Served with a side of gravy and rice, a staple in any Filipino meal, it became the ultimate comfort food. Jollibee wasn't just selling food. They were selling nostalgia and a taste that was uniquely Filipino. The battle wasn't just fought in the kitchen. It was fought in the hearts and minds of the Filipino people. McDonald's marketing was slick, global, and focused on efficiency and speed. It was the "I'm Lovin' It" campaign, recognized worldwide. It was clean, it was fast, it was reliable, but it also felt a bit impersonal, a bit corporate. Jollibee, on the other hand, wrapped itself in the Filipino flag. Their branding was all about joy, family, and national pride. Their mascot, the Jollibee, wasn't a mysterious clown. He was a friendly, hard-working bee who loved to dance and make kids happy. He was one of them. Jollibee's commercials were masterful. They weren't just ads. They were short films that pulled at your heartstrings. They told stories about family values, about overseas Filipino workers coming home to their loved ones, about friendships and first loves. These commercials, which became known as Kwentong Jollibee or Jollibee Stories, often went viral, not because they were selling chicken, but because they were selling an emotion. They made you feel something. They positioned Jollibee not as a fast food chain, but as a part of the Filipino family. Going to Jollibee was a celebration. It was where you went for your birthday, after getting good grades, or for a simple family weekend treat. McDonald's sold you a quick meal. Jollibee sold you a happy memory. This emotional connection was something the global giant just couldn't replicate. It was Jollibee's home court advantage, and they played it perfectly. The bee wasn't just beating the clown, it was winning the hearts of a nation. With its domestic market firmly secured, Jollibee set its sights on something bigger. They didn't just want to be the king of fast food in the Philippines. They wanted to build an empire. And they did it with a brilliant expansion strategy. Instead of just opening more Jollibee stores, the Jollibee Foods Corporation, or JFC, started acquiring other popular local food chains. They bought Greenwich Pizza, a brand famous for its Filipino-style pizza with a sweeter crust and unique toppings. Then they acquired Chowking, the leading Chinese-style fast food chain in the country, known for its dim sum and noodle dishes. They also bought Red Ribbon, a beloved bake shop famous for its cakes and pastries. This strategy was genius. JFC wasn't just growing, it was cornering every segment of the fast food market. If you wanted a burger, you went to Jollibee. If you wanted pizza, you went to Greenwich. Craving Chinese food? Chowking was there. Eat a cake for a celebration? Red Ribbon was the answer. They created a food ecosystem where, no matter what you were in the mood for, you were likely giving your money to a JFC-owned brand. But they didn't stop there. Jollibee began its own international expansion, following the path of the massive Filipino diaspora around the world. They opened stores in the Middle East and Hong Kong, and eventually, they took on the ultimate challenge. They entered the United States, the home turf of McDonald's. When a Jollibee opens in a new city abroad, it's more than just a restaurant opening. It's a cultural event. Filipinos from all over will drive for hours, lining up for a taste of home. It's a testament to the powerful connection they built. Today, Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest-growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. They've even acquired international brands like Smashburger and the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. The little bee that started as an ice cream parlor had become a global giant in its own right. So what can we learn from this incredible story? The showdown between Jollibee and McDonald's is a classic business case study, but its lesson is beautifully simple. Global dominance isn't everything. It's a massive budget and a world-famous brand don't guarantee victory. Jollibee proved that understanding local culture, taste, and emotion can be a more powerful weapon than scale. They didn't try to be a better version of McDonald's. They chose to be a proud, authentic version of themselves. They understood that food is more than just fuel. It's about identity, community, and connection. In a world that's becoming more and more globalized, the story of Jollibee is a powerful reminder that local flavor and heart can triumph. It shows that by staying true to your roots and genuinely connecting with your audience, even a little local hero can take on the biggest giants in the world and come out on top. The next time you see those golden arches, remember the story of the happy little bee that built an empire on sweet spaghetti, crispy chicken, and the power of Filipino pride. Thanks so much for watching. What's your favorite Jollibee or McDonald's menu item? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing tales from the world of business and culture.